Today I'm getting ready for another island adventure. Earlier this week I went scuba diving. Hey, that was a lot of fun. And today we are going dune buggy riding. So I'm excited. This is the first time I've ever gone dune buggy riding. And so, oh my God, I'm so excited right now. It's gonna be awesome. It's party time.
This way, mister, please.
Necesito un baño.
Sí, ahora mismo.
So the first stop when you get to the location, they take you to this little waiting area where you're gonna have to wait for 20 minutes for, I guess, for the next tour to start. And in that little space, basically they have like souvenirs, they have water that you can buy, but also they have bandanas because you're gonna get a lot of dirt in your face. So this is what I recommend if you're gonna do this excursion. Bring a bandana with you because they're charging $5 for this little bandana. But I don't want to get dust and sand and dirt all in my mouth, so I guess we're just gonna pay the $5. So that's what I would recommend. Bring your bandana with you.
At Macau Beach, we're going to stay around for 10 or 15 minutes. That's for swimming, take a picture, you swim, you feet in the water, whatever you want. I don't care. Second stop is the Dominican Typical House. Right there, we're going to see how we make our hands.
Listen, buddy,
coffee.
the people yesterday when I said the tour, they say it's an hour and a half from Macau.
No.
But what is the point? They said something different.
It is not like that. Not only my company. You can go in the Olive company of this area, and they're gonna tell you the same thing. It's not like that. Sorry. You got time because here we explained before to leave, like that you guys be clear what you're gonna do. Okay? Because the tour is 2.5 or 3 hours, but we're gonna stay for 1 hour and a half in the tour.
She's the bathroom.
Tour, and we can drive in dark in the road because it's too dangerous. Okay? So after Macau Beach, we're going to visit the second one is the Typical House, where we're going to see how we make our hands, coffee, chocolate, a small cigar, and drink some.
At the last minute, they moved us from a dune buggy to a four-wheeler. So here we go. First stop, Macau Beach. Woohoo! To see everybody else pulling up, I was like number 3 in line.
Here into this motor
pilon or mortero. I don't know how you guys call it. Pilon. And here, what we do is that we separate the shells from the coffee beans by pounding on the coffee like this. All right? Afterwards, guys, you pass the coffee beans into this machine over here that I call the Dominican microwave. Yes, and this is to toast the coffees to reduce the density and the smell away from the coffee. And last, we grind the coffee right here into this semi-automatic machine where I'm actually part of the automatic. And like that, you obtain the second best coffee in the world. In this Dominican Republic, we get two types of coffees. One, Robusta. Two, you can pass it around. Two, Arabica. Robusta has less acid, less caffeine, a lot much healthier to consume. That's why we use that coffee. You can have a seat over here, man.
Oh, that smells so good. It smells really good, actually.
How about this, guys? Does anybody know what is this?
Chocolate.
Chocolate, yes, cacao. Can everybody say it with me?
Okay, the people who's ready and not gonna use the bathroom, follow me. The people who's ready, follow me to the cave.
Is it a video?
So I had an amazing time Dune Buggy riding. As you can see, it's like the next day. But I did want to give you some quick tips if you are going to be going Dune Buggy riding that you can follow, and it's going to make your experience that much greater. Number one, bring plastic bags. Is that bags? Number one, you want to bring some baggies, okay? Like plastic bags like this, I would say bring them with you, because what you want to do is you want to cover up your sneakers, your shoes. Now you can wash them later, but especially if you're traveling here and you got to put your sneakers back into your suitcase, you want to make sure that they don't get too dirty. So I highly recommend bring some bags that you can tie up your sneakers with. I even put my purse in a baggie and like tied it, and I had one of the purses that go around that way. And so that was just an easy way to kind of stay clean, because it's a Dune Buggy ride. They're going to go through mud puddles. Now, I personally slowed down through the mud puddles because I didn't want to get too dirty. But just in case, if you really want to have a good time and go through the mud puddles and all that kind of stuff, prepare yourself by bringing plastic to cover all the things that you find valuable. Cover up your purse. Number two, do not be fooled by the time that they give you when you sign up for the excursion. So they're going to tell you, oh, it's a 2 to 3 hour event. It is 2 to 3 hours in the Dune Buggy. All right. This is actually like an 8-hour event. We actually caught the bus to go to the place where we could get into the Dune Buggies at 1:30. That was our pickup time. So we got picked up at 1:30. We didn't actually get to start the ride until I think it was like after 3 by the time they brought us over, took us through, did the little training, waited for the other people, all this kind of stuff. There's just all this stuff that you have to do during the process. So it actually ends up being like 8 hours. So we left at 1:30. By the time we got back to the location where we were being dropped off, the same pickup location, it was 7 p.m. So it is an all-day thing. So a couple of things to remember. Eat a big lunch before you come. When you go, there's just not a lot of, there's like one little stand where you can buy some food. And honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you. It was like this lady who looked like she made some food at home and brought it in Tupperware, and then you could just like buy the little sandwiches or whatever. And I ate it. I did eat it because I was hungry. But you don't know what people do in their houses. You don't know how clean, you just don't know. So bring you some food, some snacks with you, eat a big lunch before you go, because there really isn't a lot to, and there's another place where we could buy food, and it was over by like the cave where you go at the end to kind of dip and cool off. But there's like chips, soda. It's like nothing that's gonna actually fill you up or make you feel comfortable. So you've been warned. eat before you come and know ahead of time that it is going to be a long excursion. That was the biggest complaint people had, because everybody expected it to be 2 to 3 hours, and it actually ended up being like 7 to 8 hours. Number 3, be careful to consider what you're going to wear. So here's the thing about choosing your clothes. It's got to be twofold. It has to be something that you don't mind getting dirty, and also something that you don't mind getting wet, because you go to the beach. As a part of the excursion, they take you to Macau Beach, and it is the most amazingly beautiful beach. It's one of my favorite beaches here in the Dominican Republic. I actually think I want to live at Macau Beach because it's so beautiful. Anywho, they are going to take you to the beach, and by the time you have been sitting there on the bus, you're waiting, you're actually in the Dune Buggies, the sun is beating down on you, it's hot. Like I had said, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go in the water, I'm just, I'll just sit and look at the ocean, whatever. You are so hot that when you see that ocean, you're gonna wanna just run and dive in, I swear. So just keep that in mind. Some people wore a bathing suit and then wore like t-shirt and shorts over it so they could just take their stuff off, get in the ocean real quick, and then put their clothes back on once they got back on the Dune Buggy. Either way, because you're driving the Dune Buggy, when you do get wet, you will kind of dry off in the process. So anything lightweight, I wouldn't wear like cotton. I would wear something kind of lightweight, something that you can easily wring out, or something that dries very, very easily. So number 4, along with clothes and what are you going to wear, also what are you going to put on your feet. So I know a lot of people, they were confused about, should I, is it okay to wear sandals? Is it not okay? Should I wear sneakers? It is fine either way. We actually didn't drive the Dune Buggies. We actually ended up doing the ATVs, which was fine by me because I like ATV riding. And so even on the ATVs, like if I had on flip-flops, it would have still been fine. And it probably would have been a lot easier if I had on sandals when we got to the ocean. So, just remember, you're gonna go to the beach as part of it. You're gonna be walking through the sand, things like that. And so I had on sneakers and socks. And so just remembering that once you get out of the ocean, you're gonna have to put the sneakers and the socks back on, and but either way, it'll be fine either way. So I would just say sandals or sneakers is fine. You just might want to stay away from some heels. Number 5. So this tip can be used for anywhere you're going to go in the Dominican Republic if you really just want to be honest with yourself. Bring some hand sanitizer. Why? Because there is no soap in the bathrooms. Oftentimes you go on these excursions and you go in these things that are in the country and things like that. It's just like a toilet, maybe some toilet paper, but I wouldn't even count on that. So I would say I'm gonna add to that. So bring you some toilet paper or something, just roll some up on your hand, just keep it in your little purse, just in case you need to go to the restroom, and definitely bring hand sanitizer because they're not gonna have any. Plus you're gonna, you're out there in the dirt and all that kind of stuff, driving the Dune Buggies. If you do decide to, get some chips or something because you're starving, once you do hit one of the little stands where you can buy food, you want to make sure your hands are clean. So I would definitely pack some hand sanitizer. Number 7, and this is the final tip. Please listen to this advice. Bring money with you. So that might seem simple or common sense. However, sometimes think about it like this. When you're on vacation, you're like, oh, I already paid for the excursion. I'm gonna get dirty. We're gonna go to the ocean. It's only 2 to 3 hours. We're gonna eat when we come back. There's really no reason for me to bring like money or purse or something like that. So bring money with you. Number 1, I already told you about the time limit and if you wanna buy extra stuff. But here's the thing, when you get there to the Dune Buggies and the ATV rides, number 1 thing you're gonna do is you're gonna see people start putting on these, right? Because they don't want to breathe in all that sand and that dust. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to breathe in that sand and dust either. So either bring this with you, pack one of these in your suitcase, or bring money with you. And let me tell you, I highly recommend packing it first because especially if you're in the US, you can go to Walmart, Dollar Store, you can probably get this for like $1 or $2. They're going to sell this thing to you for $5. I paid $5 for this. Gosh darn it. Anyway, they got me. but I didn't want to breathe in all that dust. So I went ahead and bought it. Okay, so you may want to buy a scarf. You may want to buy souvenirs. Like I mentioned before, if you do want to buy snacks, and they will be overpriced, so do make sure you bring money for that. Also with the Dune Buggy rides, they take you to they call it a plantation. I wouldn't really call it a plantation. But you're gonna see like how they make coffee and cocoa, things like that, and they're gonna give you opportunities to buy Dominican coffee, Dominican chocolate, and let me tell you something, Dominican coffee, Dominican chocolate, Dominican coconut oil is amazing. So if you get the opportunity to purchase it, definitely buy some, but bring money with you so you're not sitting there like everybody else is getting all this good coffee and chocolate. And they have samples and things like that. You want to make sure that you're prepared if you want to get some of that as well, okay? Also, and I hate to say this, as you're going through the Dune Buggy ride, the area that it's in, I don't want to say that like it's a very poor area. I don't really know how to describe it. But what I will say is you'll see lots of little children asking for money. And I know for me, it like broke my heart because I really didn't have any like, you know, money or like change. Actually, I think my boyfriend bought this for me because I didn't bring any money with me. And it breaks my heart to see these little kids asking for money and things like that. So number one, expect that so that you're not caught off guard like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And they will ride up or run up next to you and like, oh, you know, dollar, do you have a dollar? And so if you do want to be able to give or something like that, have some extra change or something like that so that you don't have to walk around being like, oh my gosh, I wish I had something to give to these kids. So that's it. So if you are coming to Punta Cana, I highly recommend doing the Dune Buggy ride or the ATV. Like I said, it's the same company, so you can kind of choose if you want to do the Dune Buggy or if you want to do the ATV. They do allow children, so it's a great family event as well. So if you want to get, you know, the mom, the dad, the kids, you guys can all ride in one Dune Buggy. It's pretty fun for the kids. So it's one that I highly recommend. So if you get an opportunity to do it, take advantage of it. Again, all day experience. So just expect that. And I will see you on the next adventure in my island life. Bye guys.